Oh, there we go.
A little better?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It's a little better. We'll see how long it lasts.
Okay. You know what? We'll just go for it. And
Yeah, we can go for it. If we need to do a redo, I'll come back on. You can invite me
yeah,
back.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So where are you at?
Yeah. How you doing, man? Southern California. So have you been to Southern California before?
I went when I was 10. Very long time.
Okay. Where'd you go?
I went to LA and kind of just went around there. So I remember going to Santa Monica and I went to Venice Beach. I basically tried to go to all the places that were in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. All right, so LA area. So I'm about an hour east of Los Angeles. That's the best way to describe it. It's a place called Inland Empire. So it's like more of a suburban type of area. So hour east of LA, kind of away from all the traffic and everything. So it's nice though. I go to school actually in Arizona. That's where I go to physical therapy school right now. But because of this whole pandemic thing, I came out here for my spring break. And so I just didn't go back because we're doing classes all online right now. So I've been just kind of staying at home with my parents for now. And I don't know when I'm going to go back to Arizona, whenever this kind of dies down. So it's been crazy, man, this whole pandemic. It's insane.
I know.
Yeah. How's it treating you?
For me, it's, so I had a encounter with a patient who didn't have it, but his roommate did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that was a couple of weeks ago. So I did a 2-week kind of self quarantine and so far I'm fine. It's been like close to 2 weeks. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm in the clear at this point.
Yeah.
So I start back up on Monday to go back. And that's like,
shoot. You ready?
Yeah. I mean, we have masks, so that at least helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
What setting are you in?
I'm in an outpatient, and I'll say that the amount of people that go there has dropped like 50%, obviously. Like even now, though, I'm actually surprised that there's still so many people going.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's crazy. Because I know it depends on state, but like California right now, like we have all of our outpatient places pretty much closed. But then I know in Arizona, back where I go to school, like it just kind of depends. Like some are closed, some aren't. It's crazy, especially outpatient. And I feel like it's getting hit hard.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is very variable. And I was looking online, and there's always discussion. Like there was really no guidance for people in outpatient. Like the APTA had things about what hospitals should do and what nursing homes, but then for outpatient clinics, it was basically use your judgment. I'm like, what?
Yeah. They're like, it's up to you. Just we're not going to give you anything. Just kind of figure it out on your own.
Yeah, basically. So we're just kind of rolling with it at this point. How's virtual school?
Yeah. How long have you been out of school now? Virtual school. It's interesting. Go ahead. I know you asked a question. We're kind of lagging.
I've been out for 2 years. Yeah. So not too long.
Oh, 2 years. Okay. Not too long. Pretty new.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Well, what was the question you asked me? I know we kind of lagged. Our questions kind of went on top of each other.
Right. So how's like virtual school with all this going on?
You know what? Yeah, it's not too bad. Like some of our classmates hate it. I'm more kind of like in the middle. Like I get up like 2 minutes before class starts now and just kind of roll out of bed and put on my clothes, take a quick shower, and put on my camera. And sometimes I have it on, sometimes I have it off, depending on the professor and if like they care or not. But it's not too bad. It can be hard to kind of pay attention at times just because you're in the comfort at your own home. And so you're just kind of like, you could like lay on the couch and like fall asleep. So I got to make sure I'm like in a chair, kind of like act like it's class and like, sit up straight, or otherwise I'll doze off. It's pretty hard, but it's been okay. First week was a little rough, but it's been getting better. We're in our 4th week now, so it's been good. We're still learning something, so that's good. Just an adjustment.
Right. Are they live?
They are, yeah. So you log in at whatever the class time is, like it's regular class, and then you log into they give you the Zoom link, and yeah, you pretty much have all the students there live. So it's like in my class, it's like 62 students, and then you have the professor talking like it's regular class, and then if you have a question, you can type in the chat, or you can there's like a raise your hand option. There's it's weird. It's weird, but it's working for the time being. So I'm in my last 10 weeks of classwork, and then I'm going to get a clinical. So it's so it'll be interesting.
Sweet. What are your last classes?
Yeah, what are we taking? A couple of them are just seminars, kind of just reviewing pretty much everything we've done in like neuro and MS and all that. And then I'm taking a gender pelvic health class, which is interesting.
Oh, very interesting.
And then yeah, they give us like a whole class on that. I know some programs, I've talked to a couple other friends that I have in other programs. Some people only get like either just like a very short pelvic health knowledge in their PT curriculum, but they give us a whole class at my school, which is interesting.
We got 0.
That's pretty much it. It's a very light semester. Yeah, you got 0. Yeah, most people get 0. So our school gives us good. They gave us that, and they gave us a wound care class. Did you have a wound care class in a physical therapy school?
It wasn't a full class, but it was basically lumped into basically acute care PT class.
Right. Yeah, that's how most programs are. So like ours gives us like a whole 10-week class on wound care, and then a whole 10-week class on pelvic health. So they give us, good knowledge. Yeah. But that's pretty much it. Like my semester's pretty light from what we've had. I think the hardest part is behind us. So, and then we'll be off on clinicals, hopefully, crossing fingers, in July.
Right.
So we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't get pushed back. I'm hoping this dies down by the summer because, there's a lot going on third year. So we'll see what happens.
True. Everything that I've seen so far, all like the projection graphs basically has everything dying down by late June, July. So I would be all right.
Yeah. That's what I've seen too. I've seen the projection graphs also kind of by the June, July mark. It should, if people do what they're supposed to, it should die down, but
right.
We'll see, man. I mean, you never know with our society. Like, have you seen those videos of people like licking toilet seats and like doing these crazy things just to cause attention on social media during this whole thing? Oh my God. I haven't personally watched them, but I had a friend tell me that, there's videos going around, people licking toilet seats and like coughing in the supermarket and touching food and like all this other stuff. And I'm like, shoot, we're not going to be done by June, July if people are doing that. So it's pretty crazy.
But why would you lick a toilet seat? Like that only hurts yourself.
Couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting
to
see how this all plays out. So yeah.
I do worry a little bit because even now, like when you listen to the news or read headlines, things are slowing now, and so I think people are going to be more inclined to not stay home and just do whatever and just move everything up. And I think that's
exactly. Exactly. I know. It's weird. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's been kind of interesting though, because in the past couple of weeks, I've had more contact with people just who I haven't seen in a while, even more so than like before all this happened. Like I chatted with people from my PT school and like someone that I met like 6 years ago, and I hadn't contacted that person in 6 years, and it took a pandemic to make it happen. It's weird.
No, yeah, seriously, no, the same thing with me. I've talked to people from undergrad, kind of the same thing where I haven't talked to some of my friends for a few years, I would say. And then it's like this whole pandemic happens, and it's like that's the thing that kind of you got nothing else to do, so you kind of think of like, who haven't I talked to for a while? So that's kind of the same thing. I've talked to people that I haven't talked to for a couple of years, and it's really nice. It's like because you probably wouldn't have talked to those people if this whole pandemic thing didn't happen. So it's cool. It is cool. I mean, the pandemic's not cool, but you know,
right.
you make the
No, I
best.
get what you're saying.
You make the best of it. I mean, you have to. It's, you know, I've been trying to make the best of what I can of the situation, and you know, trying to, you know, just keep busy and keep motivated and not sit around for too long without doing anything, because I feel like that's when you kind of go crazy, is, you know, when you got nothing productive going
Right.
on.
So what are you doing when you're not doing PT school stuff?
Frozen. Oh, there we go.
Did you hear that?
When I'm not doing PT school stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. It like paused and then it caught up. So I heard you. So you asked what I'm doing when I'm not doing PT school stuff?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, when I'm not doing PT school stuff. Well, before the pandemic, you know, I was doing, in July, I started a martial arts class. So I've been doing that. That's kind of been my like hobby outside of PT school. But now, since this whole pandemic, I can't really do that. So besides that, honestly, just kind of like finding home workouts to do. Because, you know, I got to stay active somehow. So I've been just working out in the house, doing some like HIIT workouts and finding things to do. And besides that, not much. I mean, right now there's not much else to do. I've been walking my dog outside, wearing my mask.
There you go.
But yeah, besides that, that's kind of as much, you know, as I've been able to do. What about you? Give me some ideas. What have you been doing during this whole thing?
Tiger King.
Oh, watch that show. Did you finish it? Or I don't want to spoil it if you haven't finished it.
No, I have.
Okay. It's crazy. So first 2 episodes, because I heard about it, I kind of was late to watching it. I heard about it. First 2 episodes I was watching, I was like, yeah, this is kind of like overrated. Why is it like so hyped up? And then once you got to like the 3rd or 4th episode, you're like, oh shoot, okay, this like took a turn for the worse. And it's like, that's when all the crazy stuff happens. And yeah, that show is nuts. Like, I don't know, Carol Baskin, man. It's weird.
I don't know, man. Yeah, it's a weird dynamic. There's so much mystery, and because there was times where, you know, you'd be rooting for Joe, and I mean, very rarely was I rooting for Carol. I don't know why. I just never really I didn't really connect with her that much. But
did you notice she laughed at everything that she would say? Like, she would say a sentence, or she would talk about killing her husband, and then she would like do that stupid giggle like right after, and I'm like, that just sounds suspicious. Like, I don't know.
She's like, how would I do that?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Jeez.
It's a weird show though, for sure.
Yeah. One of the places actually isn't even too far from where I live. I don't know if he wasn't on there too much, but if you remember the guy from the McCarthy Wildlife Center?
Was that the Doc Antle dude? Was it that guy?
That guy.
Okay, another guy.
That guy's in Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, the dude that I'm talking about, I think he was only on there for the first 2 episodes, but he also has a wildlife center, and it's down it's in West Palm, Florida, which is like roughly half an hour where I live. It's funny. I've been there before, and so it was just
crazy
to see that.
That's insane. Yeah, it's a crazy show for sure. Like, and then I hear they're gonna like add, like, I don't know if you heard, they're like, I don't know if they already did. They were gonna add like another episode to like, I don't know what else they could add. Like, I think it was about Joe being in jail or something. I'm like, I don't know how much more you could do.
Well, have you seen, like, he has teeth now?
What did you say?
Joe's husband, I forget his name. John, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
The dude that had no teeth?
He has teeth now. So, I know who you're talking about.
You cut out a little bit.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, it's flagging. Hold on. Okay, you're back. Say that one more time. It kind of like lagged. It caught up.
I don't know if you heard me, but Joe's husband, like, you saw, like, he got a new rack of teeth.
Yes. No, I didn't see the picture, but I heard about it.
Yeah.
Is it possible to pull up a picture, or is it going to mess up? Because I need to see this. I heard about it.
hold on. Let's see if it works.
Hopefully it works. Oh, there we go.
Can you see it?
I can, yes.
Okay. God, I forgot his name. It's like John Finn. Yeah, here it is. Look at this. He doesn't even look like the same person.
Yeah, I think John Finlay. His new rack of teeth.
Yeah, can you see that?
What? Oh my! Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah,
What?
it literally looks like an entirely different person.
Looks like a totally different person.
Yeah,
He doesn't
exactly.
even look the same at all.
No,
That's insane.
I know.
That's crazy. I wonder how much that cost him, like, to fix all his teeth, because
I have no idea.
they're pretty bad.
Oh yeah, horrendous. His his choice, Joe's choice in partners was very odd, to say the least. Not just from the fact that I don't care that they're guys, but just his choice was like, marrying people less than half his age is more what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I didn't see, and they were all so different. It wasn't like they were like the same type of, like, they were just so different. Like, yeah, you had that one young guy, and then you had an older dude, and then it was just like all over the place. I'm like, what is he looking for? Like,
I don't know, man.
It was weird, crazy. And then about the guy that the one boyfriend that killed himself, that was nuts.
That was dark. I was not anticipating that.
Yeah, that was sad. It was like, geez, I'm surprised they they didn't show it, but they like showed that camera footage. I was like, dang, I'm surprised they like showed that on Netflix. That's pretty crazy.
I know. Yeah, that's pretty graphic.
Yeah, it was dark for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
You need at least an empty cup with water or something.
Good. I have a pencil cup. That's all I got.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Next time though. So are you in like the Smart Success PT? I feel like I see you around there.
Yeah. I am. I joined. I was season 6. However many years. I think that was like 2 years ago or something.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
I am.
Or I did. Okay.
Okay. Well, what season were you?
7.
Oh, you're right after. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to the live event in Florida. I did that first before I joined. And then right after I went to the live event, I was not planning on joining. And then right after I went to the live event, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to be part of this. And so I ended up joining, and it was a good decision. I mean, you learn so much, and I've applied a lot of it, and I think the best thing out of it is the network of people you have. I mean, you, for example, this is the first time we've talked.
Yeah, true.
I knew you were part of the Smart Success community. Yeah, you meet so many people. The networks that you make, I think that's the best part of it all. And you have a group of PTs that just have this different mindset, of providing care, and it's really cool who you get to meet and hearing ideas, and there's some stuff I would have never thought of before going to the live event of where I possibly want to go in my career. So it's been good so far. I'm glad I'm involved in it for sure.
Oh yeah. Do you have an idea of what you want to do?
It's all over the place. I'm hoping, in terms of setting, I'm hoping when I get to my clinicals, I'll have a better idea of what kind of who I want to work with, my niche. Still trying to decide that. I'm kind of all over the place. I kind of change. I feel every couple months I'm oh, now I'm interested in this. Now I'm interested in this. So we'll see if hopefully clinical is working, in the clinical environment will hopefully help me. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm just kind of listening to everybody else's ideas and kind of narrowing down what sounds interesting, what doesn't. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But,
right. Are you leaning one way or another?
Yeah. Right now I'm leaning towards the outpatient setting. I'm not big on inpatient, but I haven't had a clinical in it yet. So I'll be open-minded. I'm always open-minded about it. But my experience in the outpatient setting and working with either athletes or to kind of that population, but we'll see what happens. I'm open-minded. It could change. So we'll see.
There we go. Yeah. I was
And
pretty
you're,
similar.
yeah,
I tried to be open-minded. And so I had my first inpatient one was at in the ICU. And yeah. And that was so high stress that basically just solidified that I did not want to do
right.
inpatient. But then there's other people that thrive off of it though. And I have people that are in
Exactly.
my class where they've had clinicals in the ICU and other hospital floors, and they just like fall in love with it. And then they just and some of them were like gung ho about outpatient, and then they did that and they're like, wow, I didn't know, because there's perks to it. I mean, you kind of have a somewhat flexible schedule for the most part. You kind of have a quota you have to meet, but you don't like have to see, Miss Nancy at 8 and
right.
Becky at 10 and just kind of cycle through like that. It's a little bit more freeform, I guess.
There's pros and cons for sure to each, because I think obviously like acute care setting and all that, even though that's not my interest, like there's such a need for it. And like I give acute care PTs and all that so much credit, because there's a lot that goes into it. Like I had my acute care class last fall, and God, there's so many like lab values and so many precautions, and these people just came out of like surgery and stuff. So it's like, you got to be real careful with patients. But yeah, it's just kind of finding what you're passionate about and what setting you fit in with the most, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So
definitely
differs for everybody for varying reasons, but.
Mm-hmm. And do you have like an idea? Because you're in SSPT or SSHC, whatever they're calling it now. Are you?
Yeah, change it.
Do you have like an idea of something that you want to do on your own at some point?
Yeah, I'm also trying to figure that out. As of right now, I guess the most I've done with like the skills I've learned is I also took Alex and Will, right? Alex Engar, Will Boyd. I'm sure you know them. Yes. So I took another course through them, and it was pretty much how to build websites, edit podcasts, kind of learning these like non-traditional skills, kind of a little off the SSPT. So I've been kind of just, because I've had so much free time, I feel like this past year, school just for some extra money, edited some podcasts for physical therapists. And what else have I done? I've written some articles for Covalent Careers. I don't know if you've heard of them, but
I don't know much about it. I've heard of it before.
Yeah, so I got connected with somebody else in SSBT, and they kind of hooked me up with writing a couple articles for some extra side money. So I've been trying to apply as much as I can as a student. But I've learned a lot, just from doing it, trial and error, and it's got me like I'm making a bunch, but it's like I'm making my own money and actually have like some income. So it's been nice kind of utilizing those skills. And I think when I graduate, whatever path or niche I go into, I think it'll help me. I feel like kind of practicing now as a student, and then utilizing it as a physical therapist later on. So that's kind of what I've been doing.
Yeah. No, that's cool though. I think it's neat to learn stuff like that. And, as I'm not even that far out, and I never even like fathomed of doing anything like that. It was just school, just, do it. You become a therapist, you do your thing. The whole idea of doing something aside from that, or not in place of it, but in addition to it, just didn't even like cross my mind. But
right, totally.
That's the whole purpose of the program. And I think what makes it pretty powerful is that it opens your mind to that possibility. Like I wouldn't be doing this right now if I wasn't a part of that. I just wouldn't think to do it, No,
totally. Yeah. And like another thing I'm thinking of possibly doing, probably not right out of school, but eventually, is doing like a concierge, like mobile type of PT model. And that's like another thing I never thought of before joining SSBT. I heard of like home health, but I didn't know you could do it like go into people's houses for like charging them cash. It's like, I bring up that idea of mobile concierge. I've brought it up. I actually did a business project in one of my classes, And I brought up that idea of like, oh, let's base it, because we could pick any setting we want. We just had to make a business plan. So I brought up doing a mobile concierge idea, and the people in my group at first were like, what the heck is that? Like, they never heard of it. So after I explained like what it was and like it's something possible because there's people doing it, they were like all in on the idea, and so we wrote this whole business plan on as if we were going to open up a mobile concierge PT practice, and it was really good. It was a good learning experience, and it gave us like good experience. So I'm kind of keeping that business plan, and I might utilize it if I end up doing my own thing like that. So that's something I would have never even thought of before joining SSPT. Because, you just have that mindset of like, okay, I'm going to graduate, 2 days a week, 8 hours for 20 years of my life, and that's kind of it. Which is fine, for some people, that's totally fine.
Sure.
It's cool to have those other options. So, yeah.
When you all did the business proposal, did the professors look at it, and what did they think of it?
Yeah, so I brought it up to my professor before we even did it, because I didn't want to like just do it and then he's like, what the heck is this? Because I knew a lot of people probably wouldn't be doing it. So I brought it up to him before, and he was actually all for the idea. So that's kind of why we did it. He was like, yeah, go for it. Like, I think it's an awesome idea. I think he had his own practice that was cash based too, so he kind of understood like why we wanted to write something kind of like that. So yeah, no, we had a professor that was all for it, so that's kind of why we did it. So I'm glad we did. It was a good experience.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I did that a little bit when I first started, before I kind of shifted online, and it was cool, man. It's especially you don't really need a lot of equipment for it. I think my total investment was, I don't know, $200, a table, some bands. I think that was it.
Yeah.
It might have been like
that's the reason. It's like it's
really all you need though.
Yeah, your overhead is so yeah, your overhead's so small. So I think that's kind of the other reason. It's like you don't have to put too much money to start it. I think the biggest thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is probably just the marketing part of trying to find clients. From what I hear, that's probably the biggest challenge.
That is no matter what you do, though. I think more people are seeing the value of it just with just how healthcare works now. Whereas, 10 years ago, I don't think many people would do it at all. But that's also because insurance was better than it is now. And that, if you think about it, if you don't meet your deductible, then you're kind of paying the same anyway. So you might as well pay for the convenience of mobile, right?
Right.
At least that's what I think. And for some people,
totally agree.
Yeah, and it's definitely a slow progression, but I think more people are getting the idea, and especially if you find like a niche that you're really interested in, then that helps a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure, because then you can like target your marketing probably towards those people, whoever your niche is.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see what happens. But that's a possible plan sometime after graduating. I kind of want to get a little experience first in like probably an outpatient setting, get that clinical expertise first, and then once I've done it for a little bit, then slowly transition to something probably like that. But I probably don't see myself working strictly outpatient with doing nothing else for like 20, 30 years. I see myself, I got to change around. I got to move around and kind of change it up, or I'll drive myself crazy. So.
Right. Absolutely. So are your clinicals rather, are they all like in, where are they at?
Yeah, they're all in Arizona actually. So it'll be convenient if this whole pandemic kind of blows over. So I have a place already. I'll be staying in the same place that I'm living in right now. But yeah, I got them all placed in Arizona. So we have to do like an inpatient, we have to do an outpatient rehab, and then we have to do just a regular outpatient. So so I'm all placed for mine. I got all good places. It's like a good variety. I have a hospital for my first one. I have a home health for my second one. And then I had an interview for my third one, which is actually a cash-based practice one. And I ended up getting it. So I'm placed for a cash-based place for my outpatient setting. So it's a good variety. I think I'll get a good scope with that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Oh yeah, you'll probably get some good marketing tips from the cash-based place because they have to do a lot of that.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what they said when I interviewed. They're like, you'd have opportunities probably to like go out and like market and like kind of see how it works in that aspect. So it's kind of cool that I'll get like the clinical stuff, but I'll also get that marketing stuff on top of it, which I probably wouldn't be uh, learning as much at like a typical outpatient because it would be so crammed with like patient an hour, and then we'll have a lot more time.
Oh yeah, definitely. And even though home health is kind of neat, I did that for a little bit.
How'd you like it?
It honestly depends. Like it depends what agency you're a part of. Like the one that I was at here, I don't know how familiar you are with home health, but there's basically
I'm a little.
Yeah, so you may already know this, but they kind of have 3 different visit types. At least for a PT, you just have follow-ups, evals, and then start of cares. And so start of cares are usually like the 3-hour long assessments, basically a nursing exam. And I'm not a nurse, obviously. So a little bit difficult. But the problem was because of their whole model and how they're changing, I was doing home health PRN, and all the hours that I did have were basically doing the start of cares. And so now I could choose to see them and follow up with them. And so I did that. But every new person that I had, it wasn't, oh, we need you to do a PT eval on such and such. Like, we need you to do a whole start here. And, if you have one of them every couple months, whatever. But when you're getting 2 a day, no. It's just not even financially feasible because it was all, you think about it, it's triple the work and only, at least for where I was at, $15 extra is what you got. And like that just doesn't add up in any world.
No. Yeah. Seems like a lot of extra work for
it is.
Not that much.
You paid for it. But that was just me, though. I also have a friend, acquaintance rather, who lives in this area, and he works full time, and he only does a start of care like once every 3 months, and the rest is just and the rest is just and the PT are super easy. Follow-ups are obviously easy. There's minimal paperwork, and if you can cruise by and do that, it's actually an incredibly lucrative thing because you can make your own schedule. You can work well if you're full time. Obviously, you gotta meet the requirement.
Right.
But I have another friend. She's a PTA, but she does home health, and she does PRN. But she has so many people that are available that she makes it full time, and she makes more because she's PRN.
Yeah.
So there's that little. It's not really a loophole, but way you could finagle it, I guess.
Yeah. So did you do home health, and then you did concierge, and then now you're at outpatient, or what was the order when you graduated?
So when I graduated, I did outpatient. I'm still doing outpatient.
Okay.
And that's at a private practice. And then I quit that in August to try to do my mobile practice. And that worked for a little bit. And I got clients, the marketing was tough, but I was catering to golfers, and there's a crap ton of golfers. So it worked out very well.
Right.
But I didn't get like a lot of, I liked it, but I didn't get like a lot of fulfillment from it, I guess. So I knew I needed to pivot because I knew it wasn't something that I wanted to do forever. So I just had to think what that was. And so in the meantime, I was doing home health, and that lasted about 6 months. And then I went back to work at the outpatient facility that I was working at. And now I'm doing for my business all online work, which I like better. Like that's ultimately what I wanted from it anyways, to be able to have some freedom to work wherever I want. And so that's kind of where I
Yeah.
gravitate towards.
No, that's awesome. And you're catering now towards like musicians, right? Because I was
Yeah.
from what I saw on your Facebook, right? Like DJs
Yep.
and stuff. That's
DJ
awesome.
music
I feel like
producer.
that's like such a cool niche because like yeah, I think that's such a cool niche because I feel like not a lot of people have that, and that's something I'm interested in too because I love all that type of music. So, and I was
Oh,
telling
sweet.
you, my brother's he's 19 years old and he has his own like he does producing and stuff, and he's always in pain and always has me do stuff to like his back or crack him or do whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's it's for sure like a need. I feel like that's not like addressed as much as like golfing or something like that. So
Right.
I think that's such a cool thing to do.
Yeah. I knew I always wanted to, and I kind of told you this already,
Hold
but
on. You're lagging, so
oh,
give me
can
one
you?
sec. Yeah, hold on. It's like catching up.
Oh, okay.
All right, I think you're good. Talk.
Good. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So I knew I always wanted to like blend the two, the music and fitness. And so, because there was a time and where I wanted to like be a music producer, and honestly, I still do. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's cool. But I
Yeah, yeah.
figured in the meantime, I would bridge the two by doing this, and I feel like that's just like a really cool thing because you get sort of connected in that community anyway when you
Exactly. And
you
yeah,
help them out.
exactly. I think that's a cool thing about SSPT too is that it opens up your mind that like two things you think aren't related, like music and then physical therapy. It's like, shoot, I have like these two interests. How can I like intermingle them? And it kind of like shows you like, okay, cool, you're a PT, you can treat musicians and you can kind of what's the word? Like just kind of intermingle
Yeah.
both worlds. And it's really cool because like, you know, just a typical type of thinking. It's like, oh shoot, okay, I'm a PT. I can never like do anything to music, even though that's like another interest of yours. But it's like,
Right.
I mean, you're proving it. It's like you can do both. It's possible to like intermingle the two. So that's really cool.
Yeah. No, I love it. And obviously, it's very new, so I don't have any clients right now. But I looked through one of the biggest ways I research stuff. Do you ever
Yeah,
use
but
Reddit?
oh, sometimes yes, I know of
Yeah.
Reddit.
You know, Reddit. Dude, I'm on Reddit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, for like fun, and then also it's like a really good way to like research stuff. And so I went on there and I just typed in like DJs and back pain or whatever. And oh my god,
Right.
man, it's just like I thought it was going to be almost too niche, like too specific. And that's one of the reasons why I never pulled the trigger and decided to do it. And
Right.
um, so I decided to do it before I even looked in the Reddit. But after I transitioned and sort of updated my cover photo and all that, I looked in the Reddit and I typed in that like DJs with back pain, and it was like filled with people that have. I was like, I couldn't believe that this was even a thing. Like I knew it probably had to happen, but I didn't think it was common. And I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
and I guess
It's
your
crazy. It's yeah.
brother has some too. So I mean, it's definitely prevalent. I mean, I can only imagine that, you know, that if there's that many people that post about it, there's probably a ton of other people that don't post about it. So that's kind of
Exactly. Yeah.
how I reason through it.
Yeah. And that's the only way you'll be able to like know is like until you explore. It's like you're gonna think, oh, it's too niche. I probably shouldn't do it, but you don't know really until you look at it. And then then you find out it's like you have all these DJs that are suffering from like back pain. And if you think about it, it makes sense though too. It's like think about like they're literally producing music. My brother's in his room. Probably he's been in there for 7, 8, 9 hours. Like you're at a desk job and just sitting there on the computer, like producing music. Like you get in the zone. You don't really move. You don't. Sometimes my brother doesn't even eat. He's just in there for like 7, 8 hours. And yeah, it's you just get so in the zone of like making music. And so it's like, of course, they're gonna have some type of probably neck pain or back pain or something like that. So it's so prevalent. I feel like so. It's cool that like you researched it and you kind of pulled the trigger and just did it to find out. And sure enough, there's all these people.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. So I'm really happy about it. It's kind of blends two things, and it kind of like it doesn't. I guess it doesn't really force me, but it kind of gives me kind of invigorated my desire to make music. So I'm also just because of, I have to be at home with everything going on.
Right.
That kind of led to it as well. But that's been
Yeah.
pretty neat as well.
Yeah, because I saw you making music too, huh? I saw you made a post on Facebook, right? That you were like making some. That was good.
Thanks,
that was good.
Man.
How long have you been doing it for?
So, I mean, I've been playing instruments for, I don't know, how old am I? Probably like 12 years. So,
yeah.
But, and I guess I've been making music for about 10, but it's like transitioned so much. Because I was in a band in high school, and it was kind of like
cool.
Yeah, it was like a Linkin Park kind of band. Like we had a rapper
nice.
and we would
Dang.
Their Meteora hybrid theory. We would make kind of that.
Do we get to hear a video? Are there videos of this?
Yeah, there are on YouTube. There's a couple.
Yeah. Oh, we might need to hear one. Can you pull up one right now? I think you just opened a door right now.
Oh my God.
I think your listeners need to hear.
Oh my God. I guess I can. All right.
You didn't think anybody was going to call you out on it, huh?
No, I didn't. Damn it.
That's a good thing. When you haven't talked to me, you don't know who I am yet, so you don't know.
I don't.
If I'm going to call you.
I don't know
if I'm going to call you out on stuff. No, this needs to be heard, so might as well be now.
Yeah, I don't really care. No shame. So I know that, I don't know if it's still on here. Because we used to have a MySpace, but that got taken down or something.
Oh, really?
So it's
too hardcore.
Here's the only evidence of this. 11 years ago, 2009.
Dang.
Oh God. I don't even know.
Right. Just play like 20 seconds. We don't have to hear the whole thing. I won't torture you that long.
Okay. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it.
I can hear it.
Oh, really?
You guys give it up for these two.
Let me just. This is just a piano. So this is me, way over there.
Okay.
Keyboardist, singer, rapper.
Nice. Sounds good from what I can hear.
Yeah, so we played. So we played a few shows, and when we broke up because we just moved to, we went to. How do I get this back? There we go. Because we just moved to different colleges and whatnot. And it's just, you can't keep a band together like that. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's hard. Right.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So that's nuts. You guys need a reunion or something, I feel like.
We always talked about it, but
I think it needs to happen eventually.
There's only 2, so there's 7 people in the band, and I think only 3 of the 7 even play instruments or do anything music anymore. I don't think it would work even if we could get together. Some people I don't even think would remember how to play.
Right. What did you play? What was the instrument? I didn't really pay attention.
Oh, guitar.
Oh, guitar. Okay, cool. Can you still play? Yeah. Are you still as good as 2009?
Not as good. Only because I don't practice as much. I had this metal shredding instructor back then, and he was just a crazy good guitarist, and so I took lessons through him, and so I had that weekly accountability, I guess, in order to get better, and I don't have that anymore. So I'm not bad, but I'm not sure.
You're not as good as 2009. Yeah.
I don't think so. I think 2009 Josh kicked my ass.
Just need to practice more. That's it. A little practice, and I think you'll be 2009.
That's true. Yeah. But I've diversified now, though, because now I do keyboards and guitar. Back then, I didn't do keyboards.
Yeah, keyboard's a game changer. Like my brother also he teaches himself on the keyboard and like or the piano that we have in our living room, and it's a game changer. If you can learn keyboard, like I feel like that's a whole nother level. Then you can add that with your guitar and everything else that you play.
Mm-hmm. It's really all you need music.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Not even really that. I mean, if you want, I know so many people that just draw the notes on, and I mean, they're really good that way though. Like you can be.
Yeah.
I think it takes longer, but I know that there's people that do that, like incredibly skilled at making these epic tracks, and they don't play a single note. They just put everything in and arrange it, edit it, and it sounds like incredible.
It's crazy. I feel like you just have to have that like musical ear. I mean, my family's filled with like musicians. I played the drums a long time ago, but I'm definitely not as musically like, I don't have that ear as good as my family. So it's, but I mean, I grew up with it though. So that's why I think I like music so much, and kind of the electronic scene. And my dad's like an 80s rock person. So it's just been in my family for my whole life. So it's, yeah.
Are you a music festival guy? Have you been to like any electronic?
Yeah, I've been to a couple. I haven't been to like EDC or like those big raves. I've seen DJs though at like I go to Vegas a lot, so I've been to like those clubs and stuff. And like, yeah, so I've been to a few, but I don't know. I'm kind of getting sick of like the crowd, so I haven't been to one in a while.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been to one in a while because of this whole thing. But yeah, it's not my. Yeah, I'm starting to like go on the decline of like wanting to go. It's a lot of money. It's crowded. A lot of people. So I love the music. I like watching like YouTube videos of like festivals, but then when I get there, I'm like, like it's not my number one thing. Even though I love the music though. I mean, the music's awesome. I mean, it's probably my number one music I listen to. So
yeah.
Do you have a favorite like artist, like EDM or anything?
So I have like a running list at the moment. So number one is probably Madeon.
Madeon. Okay. I don't think I've heard of it. No, I don't think so. What type? Is it more like chill or how would you describe it?
I would call it I guess he calls it new disco or French house is what it's called.
Okay.
It's kind of like funk house sort of. It's pretty popular.
Funk house?
Kind of. Yeah.
I don't look him up. I don't know.
He's very articulate, and his production is incredibly complicated, but it sounds good though, which is why I like it.
Okay.
Very much a perfectionist.
Gotcha.
And then there's another dude, Porter Robinson. I don't know if you know him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they
Porter,
did a song together.
Of course I know Porter. He's huge. Yeah. Oh, did they?
Yeah.
What was the song?
They have a big song. It's called Shelter. You never heard of that?
Oh, yeah, of course. I didn't know that other guy was with him, though, doing that song. Yeah. Of course I know Shelter.
They wrote it together.
It's a classic. It's a classic song.
Well, that's what I thought. I'm surprised that you heard of Porter.
I didn't know. I didn't know the other guy was on that song, though. But, yeah, of course. Shelter, yeah, it's an amazing song. Classic.
Oh. Well, geez, if you like Porter's music, you absolutely need to check out the other dudes. I mean, it's
shoot. I just haven't. Yeah, I need to. Yeah, I need to check them out.
I'm trying to think of like one more. The other one that I'd listen to a lot is band. Well, it's not a band; it's a DJ called Satin Jackets. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't. Satin Jackets. I don't think I do.
Yeah.
What's the vibe with?
He's honestly kind of similar.
Okay.
I don't know why. I always go for like kind of funk, jazz, electronic music, and I don't know. I'm not very good at describing what it is. There's like a million genres in the electronic world, but
yeah. Well, EDM covers like it's an umbrella term. When you're like, oh, I listen to EDM, it's like okay, you could be listening to 20 different types of music. Because you have like trap, you have house, there's like so many different categories for electronic dance music. So I totally get it. It's like hard to keep up with like all the different terms and slang and stuff for different music. But
and some people get offended by it.
Yeah, the hardcore like EDM goers. You
Yeah.
can't like call this house if it's not house. It's
Right.
like
Yeah.
some other type of house, this like specific type, and you have no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
What do you
it's good
listen?
music
What's
though.
your jam?
What's my jam? Pretty much. So I listen to pretty much all types of music except country. Those close to me know country music is not my thing, but I deal with it if I have to.
Right.
By my school, actually, there's a country bar that everybody goes to. It's because it's so conveniently located where our school is, and we have to kind of drive sometimes. Like you've heard of like Phoenix, Scottsdale. Have you heard of those towns?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are like the bigger towns, but they're a little farther away from where we are. So there's a country bar closer to where we are in a town called Gilbert, and it's really the only place if you want to go, go for a couple drinks and go dance. But it's a country bar, so I've been there probably over 10 plus times. Even though I don't like country, but my friends in my class they love going. So I've been dragged more times than I can count to this country bar that I hate going to, but I deal with it because everybody else wants to go always. But yeah, so country's not my thing, but I'll listen to it if it's on. I'll respect it.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much everything else. I like 80s rock because of my dad. I like EDM because I like EDM, and I like house. I like kind of like all those Porter, Flume, Millennium, kind of all those type of artists. Yeah, I don't have a favorite. I would say though. I know everybody asks like, "Oh, what's your favorite?" I don't have a favorite. I just kind of listen to a little of everything, and if there's a song I like, there's a song I like, and kind of go like that's how I classify it.
Sure. It's hard for me. My favorite changes all the time, so I could never pick a favorite anyway.
Yeah.
Like even a few years ago, my list
Yeah.
was entirely different than what it is now. But that's the cool part is that people are always like reinventing different genres for it, and I find that as a whole, electronic music is getting a little bit more, I guess, complicated, but in a good way. Like more, it's not just all this repetitive, just like boom snare, just all the time. It's a little bit more nuanced than that now, and that's pretty cool to me.
It is, yeah. And I feel like there's so much that goes into like making a good track for electronic dance music. I think people that like don't listen to it don't realize. They just think, a DJ when they play a set or something, it's just they're kind of standing there and I can be a DJ. It's pretty easy. But like I look at my brother's stuff, like what he's doing, and it's like he has this whole screen with like all these different like things on the screen. I don't even know where to look, and like he makes it look so easy because he went to music school for a year, so he knows what he's doing now.
Okay.
But there's so much that goes into it, and I feel like people don't realize like how much work you have to put into like make a good sounding track, not just like a trash like track that nobody's gonna listen to. It's like it takes a lot of work, and it's an instrument. Like it's like playing guitar, it's like playing drums. It's like a skill, and like not everybody can do it for sure. It's crazy, but I feel like a lot of people don't realize that.
True. Yeah. I find it's way harder actually to make because like I said, 10 years ago when I was doing music, I would just record like my guitars and bass, and I'm not going to say it's easy, but they've made it pretty easy in this day and age where you just plug it into an interface and just kind of go. And there's a ton of effects that you can do. So it's pretty much whatever I want it to sound like, I can pretty much do in under 5 minutes. Whereas if there's like a specific sound that I want from a synthesizer, my God, dude, that could take an hour. And I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just fiddling with
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Or just like
I can only imagine
the presets, which is usually what I end up doing. But it's
exactly
fun.
Yeah. There's so much to it. It's crazy. Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's probably so much fun to do that. It looks fun. It's just like it looks like a lot of work. If you get real into it, it's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, there's a learning curve, but there's like I do most of my learning on YouTube, and you can learn literally as much or as little as you want on it. It makes the barrier to entry less daunting, I guess.
That's a good thing. I mean, I feel like honestly, you can learn anything on YouTube. I feel like if going through physical therapy school, if it was not required that you had your doctor of physical therapy degree, I feel like I could teach myself, honestly, everything on YouTube. Type in any skill, any special test that's out there. I could probably teach myself to become a physical therapist on YouTube if it wasn't required that you have to have a degree. Like, it's just because we have to go through schooling and pay all this money. It's crazy. But, I mean, you can find anything on YouTube and pretty much teach yourself anything. It's insane, which we didn't have 10, 15 years ago. It's changed. It's crazy.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, I'm going to have to head off of here.
But that was a good conversation.
I loved it.
That was fun.
For anyone that is listening, just to, if you want to give a plug, because you said you do some podcast editing, right?
I do.
So you have a way that someone can contact you?
If you have a podcast. Yeah, sure. So if you have a podcast or if you're starting out on a podcast, you can reach me. My Facebook is just my name, Tyler Slim, SLIM. I'm also on Instagram. You can reach me on there. It's Tyler Slim, but there's 2 M's at the end instead of 1. I think those are the biggest things I would probably reach out on. But I do podcast editing, or if you just want advice or tips or anything like that, I'm more than welcome to give that for free. I'm not stingy with like, you have to pay me for my advice. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, man, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I mean, this was my first actual interview on a podcast, so it's cool to see. Yeah. So,
well, let's chat soon. All right. Next time I'll bring a beer.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. I'm holding you to that.
I will. I promise.
All right, Josh. It was good talking to you.
All right. See ya.
Later.